Hey guys, I'm Bootz and I am the Hip Hop Oracle.
Don't you believe in magic? Anything you want, you can have it now.
You pretty much can consider me the social medium, darling. I do live, intuitive, magical, energetic, and clairvoyant readings on Instagram and Facebook, weekdays, Monday through Friday. Be sure to follow me to figure out which time. Now, with that being said, on my live show, we tend to play a game that's called Tarot Roulette! Stop that. Copyright. Stop that. In order to best play tarot roulette with us, you first have to understand what tarot is. Tarot is an ancient art form of divination founded in the 18th century. The practice of intuitive and awakened and spiritually enlightened individual who venture to the other side, darling. It is a tool that we use to make plain the intuitive feelings that we're already perceiving. I don't have to use tarot cards with in-person readings. However, over social media, when someone asks me a question, my intuition gets to going. I just want to make sure that the messages are coming through are reflective with the universe. In this video, I'll tell you what each tarot deck means to me, girl, and the emoji that corresponds with it when we're live. Girl, bye! Don't mother try me, because I'll read you your motherfucking rights. You don't want none with the queen, honey. Just trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. It doesn't matter what you say.
Shernetta Jackson, we gotta put some more work in, baby. Okay, choo-choo meal. The angel cards are saying be accommodating. Welcome people into your vivacity in the most generous and loving way. Charmaine, general reading off of the fairy card deck. Be grateful. You have much to celebrate. Deep feelings of peace and happiness, of contentment with personal life. I think that's what you're striving towards right now. So smoke a blunt to try to get there.
Okay, so let's start off with the Knight Rider deck here. The Knight Rider deck is a tarot deck that I actually learned tarot from. I started learning tarot in 1998 when I was experiencing a very high level of spiritual pressure. And this was my outlet so that I can channel that energy to best guide my own path. I was being very selfish at that time. However, this is the tarot deck that I am most accustomed to, so you will probably see this tarot deck used predominantly in my live videos, okay? Me and this tarot deck have a really good working relationship because I have such longevity in working with this tarot deck. I don't have to decode or uncrypt these messages. These messages come plain and perfect each and every time. What I mean by that is this: they make it mother plain. Okay, for instance, if I'm feeling like, well, should you go back to work? You're asking me a question. Should you go back to work? I'm feeling intuitively that you will start working in 2 weeks. And this turns out to be the second card that is pulled. That is the way, yes, get your dumb back in work in 2 weeks. Make sense? So this is the way that an intuitive reader reads the cards. It's based on definition, but it is also based on your individualized interpretation of them. And let's just say my receipts show that my interpretation is A1. Every motherfucker. So if you would like me to derive a message from the Knight Rider deck in our live videos, what you should do is put up the reverse split double peace sign emoji located right down here, and I would love to do that for you. Just keep your questions brief, because some of y'all be writing paragraphs and I ain't got time to be reading all that when I have over 1,000 people in my live videos, okay? So let's go to the Line Strider deck, okay? As you can see here, I actually received this tarot deck in Los Angeles. I actually spent a year in Los Angeles when I was trying to be Beyonce, honey. They are reminiscent of traditional tarot cards, except for they're drawn and illustrated a little bit different. They also have animal interpretations on here as well, which causes me a little bit of, not conflict, it's just I have to dive a little bit deeper into the card when you are asking me a question. This deck doesn't come out to play very often, but it does have elegant and beautiful messages to portray. So of course I'm going to let that be represented by the hey girl or hey boy emoji located right down here as well. Use this if you want a very lyrical and symbolic and soothing message to come through to you. Now let's move on to the very haunted, the very scary, the very petrifying Orisha deck. Now these cards are Baodun or voodoo in nature. They have voodoo pictorials that are illustrated on them. This deck is a little bit different than the previous two because it does not and is not derivative of traditional tarot. I received this tarot deck at Cloak and Canterbury in Charleston, South Carolina, and they are absolutely magnificent people. It's such a reminiscent of the experience that I had in Charleston, which was in fact magical in its essence. Basically, I went in just to do some magical and herb shopping, and I ended up coming out not only with over $200 worth of merchandise, but a great group of friends. I love them so much, so thank you so much for blessing me with such a scary mother tarot deck. So if you want a haunted reading or you want to be petrified after you ask me a question, just put up the that has the head wrap. You see the head wrap emoji. Use that if you want me to pull out any negative subtext or subconscious emotions behind whatever question that you are trying to ask me. Okay? Cool. Let's move on to the I-Ching Deck. Now, the I-Ching Deck is very dear to my heart. I actually received this when I met the developer of my website, spiritsquad.org, in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And these are Chinese-inspired tarot decks here. These messages are very, very cryptic, and even down to the lines. The lines and the dot also are symbolic of something. I'll be perfectly honest with you in saying that these are a little bit more difficult for me to interpret, probably because I don't know Chinese, and also because the artist did not make plain the messages that are coming through. We have to decode these messages. So as I'm learning this deck, if you would like me to practice reading you on this deck, put up a dragon emoji. And I would love to read you from the I-Ching deck, the I-Ching deck, okay? Now let's move on. Now the angels never let me down. They have beautifully drawn tarot cards here. They're also not reminiscent of traditional tarot in aspects of these are all angelically drawn cards. They reference angels in the Bible and other religious texts as well. And they also have very, very lyrical messages like cooperate and love and beauty and things of that nature. They've uplifted me in readings, and they're always a pleasure to read. They were created by Doreen Virtue, and oh my God, she is an amazing, amazing tarot illustrator. And I look forward to actually getting some more decks from her. If you want me to read you from the angel, hey. If you would like me to read you from the angel deck, put up a halo emoji with the smiley face located right down here in my live video. Again, keep your questions short. Okay, and I would love to read you and uplift you with an angel card deck. This is my last but not least tarot deck that I do read from. This is the fairy deck here. The fairy deck is also developed by Doreen Virtue. These cards actually have direct meanings on them. They have them written on the card, and it's up to me to interpret what it is trying to say in accordance to whatever question that you ask me. The fairy cards are shady, meaning because their messages are so direct, sometimes they miss their mark, or it's up to me to interpret what mark they're trying to hit. For instance, if you're asking me a question about pregnancy and I pull a card that's talking about finance, either you're asking the wrong question or I have to attune finance to you being pregnant. Value. The things that go on in my head, baby. Just know these cards are a bit shady, but they do have uplifting messages when they're not throwing shade, darling. Okay? So that's just a little bit more information about the art of tarot and how to play tarot roulette on my live show. If you would like to tune in, follow me on Facebook and Instagram. The information should be displayed below. And just a quick wrap up. Hooba Bitch Ass Deck, Diva Deck, Orisha Deck, I-Ching Deck, Angel Deck, and Fairy Deck, darling. They will definitely assist me in guiding your path. And if you try me, you better just look at my receipts, baby. I hope everyone has a magnificent day. And last but not least, namaste.